Hello, and welcome to the FM podcast. I'm Jen Fritz, and I run Fritz Media, a music publicity and digital marketing firm located in Vancouver, Canada. And this is episode number 60 of the podcast. So the topic of this week's show is the evolution of artist development. And joining me on the show is Elise Roller. Now, she is the founder and CEO of Misfit Music, an artist development and management company based in Winnipeg. Now, Elise and I had a really great chat about the role of a manager in shaping an artist's development, what artist development looks like in 2024, and she also tells us about Misfit Music's artist evolution services and how they're helping with the careers of independent artists all across Canada. Oh, and just a quick note that this episode is the final episode for season 5. I'm going to be taking a very much needed break for a little while, but not to worry, I'll be back soon with more music industry wisdom for you. And now, without further ado, here is my conversation with Elise Roller. Well, hello, Elise. How are you doing today?
I am doing excellent. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm so excited to have you. I actually don't think we've ever met each other before. I was racking my brain. I'm like, did I meet her somewhere at some music industry, something? But I don't think we have. So it's nice to meet you virtually, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
And we've actually been pretty Winnipeg heavy this week, this last couple of weeks. I actually talked to Winnipeg musician Rami Mays last week as well. So
oh, nice.
We'll be getting the Winnipeg in.
Yeah, we get around.
You really do.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's like we're up in everyone's business all the time.
It's true. You do have a really strong music community there. I enjoy it. So just to get things started here, I'm going to begin with a question that I like to ask all of my guests. And that is quite simply, how did you get your start in music?
Well, I started out as an artist, like many people do. So I was an independent artist. I did the solo thing. I did the band thing, and I did all the tour booking and, really got more involved in the business side, trying to grow our audience, I guess you'd say. And yeah, I mean, I realized at one point that I needed to learn more about the music business if I was going to grow past my own city. So I started interning and just kind of getting my foot in the door of different music industry things, and volunteering I think is super important. And then I booked the Pride Winnipeg main stage for 4 years, and then I got a job at Manitoba Music as the industry development coordinator there, and I did that for 4 years, which honestly was such a great launch pad for me to get more involved on the industry side. And to be honest, the more I knew about the music business and the industry side of things, the less I wanted to be an artist. And I think that just was an age thing, because I started realizing the level of energy and time that I was going to need to put in if I wanted to be serious. And I thought, hey, I think I'd rather help those artists than be one at this point.
No, that totally makes sense. I think that anyone that has spent any amount of time in this industry maybe, has similar feelings. Especially the older you get too, right? You're just like, this artist thing's kind of run its course, but
yeah.
I would imagine too that working at Manitoba Music, you kind of saw all different facets of the industry, right? Like you learned a lot.
Yeah. So I was the person who ran, the training programs, the workshops, the mini conference. And so I was running a lot of panels and, also learning by moderating and being at the events. And since Manitoba Music does, educate artists on various facets like, publishing or labels or management, I started to learn what each of those were and get sort of more deeply rooted knowledge about those areas.
Yeah, totally. It would be a good place to start, just in the fact that you do learn all different sides of it. All right, so the topic for this week's show is the evolution of artist development. And I wanted to talk to you about this because you've made artist development something of a priority with your company, Misfit Music Management. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. But first, let's start with the basics. Now, when we're talking about artist development, just like as a general thing, like what do we mean by that?
Well, I would say that if you are an artist that, I mean, I think honestly, artist development should always be happening. But I would say that generally, if you are an artist that isn't operating at maybe like the level in which you are a viable business, where you can essentially hire a full-time team, then you're probably still in development phase. Um, and the thing is, I do think that even if you do have the ability to hire a team and you are a viable business, I feel like as an artist, you kind of always want to develop. You always want to evolve. You always want to get a little bit better. Like an artist who wins a WCMA, then they want to win a Juno. An artist who wins a Juno wants to win a Grammy. So it goes on and on. So I do think that artist development is an ongoing phase. But on the level that we're talking about it, I would say that is generally for artists who are looking to develop, a fully fledged business and team and, be able to make a living off of music in some way.
Yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense. It's kind of not something that you can really do on your own. Like you do actually need a team to do that. And you need those people to help you formulate a plan and help decide, what that plan's going to be. Like, where are we going to next? Like, what are we doing this year? Those sorts of things, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, since we're like kind of talking about needing, managers and a team and you run an actual music management company, let's like kind of get to the program that you have at Misfit Music Management, which is called Artist Evolution. Now, these are the services that you offer at your company. Is that correct? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So Artist Evolution is kind of like my answer to filling a gap that I saw when I was an independent artist. So, we had played some showcases and we'd done multiple tours and, we got ourselves to this, like, I guess this level in our city and even in our province and in our region where it was like, okay, yeah, like we're selling, 200 to 400 tickets a show. Like, but why is no one buying onto this? Like, why aren't we growing past this level? And at the time, I really thought, I thought that I needed a manager because I was like, a manager is going to make us successful,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was my whole, like, we need a manager. But looking back now, I see that, even though we were fairly successful, we still didn't really have a business to manage. We weren't busy enough that we couldn't handle it ourselves. And what I really needed was a guide, somebody to champion my career, someone to help me connect the dots, and to put some strategies in place for me to get to the level in which I could build a team or in which a team would be necessary. Mm-hmm. So when I started Misfit, I knew that I wanted to manage, some artists, like a full-time roster of artists. But I also knew that there were so many artists that I love and respect and want to help that, maybe aren't making enough that I can commission from, or maybe aren't busy enough that it really would make sense for them to even have me commission off the little that they are making. Mm-hmm. So I started it with the intention of having another program that would help artists that are serious about a career in music. And, again, either in between managers or not ready for one yet, or maybe they want to remain self-managed, but they still need someone on the inside of the industry that's, learning about all the trends and talking to other people on a global scale and can share that knowledge with them. So that's been a primary focus of what Misfit is doing. Mm-hmm. And it's a really, really important part of our company.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of artists that I talk to and actually work with could use this service. I know a lot of them are just like, we're doing everything ourselves and we just don't know if we're doing the right thing. Like they feel like they need somebody to as a sounding board, basically,
Totally.
to tell them if they're going in the right direction, right? Because they're like, I don't know, I guess we'll do this. So, that leads me to ask, like, can anybody use these services, or do you kind of curate it a little bit and kind of decide if they're the right fit to use it?
Well, we started out, obviously when you start something new, you're just like, we'll take anyone. So we did.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we started out just kind of, keeping our doors open to everyone who did come through. But now there's enough of a demand for the program that I think we do make selections. People just reach out, but the selections have a lot more to do with like how they reach out and if we recognize that we can help them, because some people will just email and be like, hey, we're looking for promo. Here's a link to the SoundCloud. And I'm just like, well, that's not what we do. And no, and goodbye. So, but, really it's more like, we'll listen to the music. There's some genres like that we don't know enough about where I'd be like, you know what, you might like, if you're looking for these things, we might not be able to help you. But if you're looking for these things, it's, it spans all genres, so we can help you. So we're very honest with that. So we are starting to curate a little bit more, but our curation has more to do with that. Can we help them? Do we see a path through? And less to do with where they're at. It's like someone could be like, I just recorded music for the first time ever. I've never released anything ever, but I want to make sure I do it the right way. We'll be like, absolutely. Like, this is exactly what we're here for, because we can let you know how much money you should invest into all the different, there's always people who are like, oh, you pay me this and I'll get you this many streams and that. And like, so we sort of help to let people know when things are scammy, or maybe to say, don't invest in this at this point in your career.
That's really good.
And move this money to this side. So we'll start with people who are at the very beginning.
Oh, that's awesome. Because I always say that there's always someone that'll take your money in this industry. So.
Well, exactly. I mean, and now more than ever, I mean, I get lots of like email scams too. That's like, oh, we noticed that your website doesn't have enough like traction. And it's
totally. All the time. Yeah. So, or like, I think it's gotten worse with playlisting too.
Yes.
Like, so scammy.
100%. And and a lot of it too is goal setting and like setting reasonable expectations, because I feel like as artists, I mean, I remember being like 9 years old and like writing my first song and being like, I'm going to be a star, like you think you're an artist. So you like have to have some kind of like ego about you and think that you're going to make it and that you deserve the world. But sometimes you just need someone to break it down for you and to say, you know what, that's a really great goal, but that's probably not something you're going to attain in the next 6 months. So let's talk about what we're going to do in the next 6 months to get you to that goal. That's more of a 2-year goal. And I think a lot of burnout that happens with artists is that they have these like unrealistic expectations for themselves that they can't actually meet. So we really try to focus on attainable goals that work for each individual artist too. Like, they're all different. It's not a one size fits all. And one strategy might work for one artist and there's another artist and that's not going to work for them because of like time constraints or money constraints. So it's really curated to wherever they're at. And sometimes honestly, it can be a bit of a therapy session being like, it's not you, it's like Spotify or like it's
dude, I totally understand. That's me with my artists all the time. They're just like, how come I'm not getting this or this? And I'm like, yeah, but you got this and this. Like, it's like, let's look at what you did get instead of what you didn't get, and
exactly.
I think that's just the artist temperament to kind of, I think it's always like you're looking at what the other person got and how come you didn't get it, right?
Yes, so that comparison is but that is why it can be really important. And I think like especially for solo artists, like I'd say people who access us the most is solo artists, because they're just working on this all by themselves. It's not like they have bandmates to riff off of or bandmates to like vent with. So they kind of just need somebody who's like on the inside of their growing business who can be like, oh yeah, that's totally wild that that happened. Like, let's think of a way to respond to that together. And it's a lot less isolating in that respect.
Yeah, I would imagine. And artists that want to take advantage of these services, they can live anywhere in Canada
Yeah.
or globally, or is it just Canadian artists that you work with?
We started out being like, we're only servicing artists in Western Canada because there is such a lack of industry. And we do really try to prioritize artists within Western Canada.
Well, it's very much needed. So that's great.
Yes. Yeah. Cause I mean, they're not like rubbing shoulders with like the industry in Toronto all the time. And they don't have regular access to that information. It's not like part of the culture out here.
No.
So we started out with that. So I'd say like the majority of our artists are based in Western Canada, but we have started opening it to be Canada wide. And, you know, this hasn't happened yet, but we really do want to expand globally. And, you know, we're looking at how we can partner with other people in other countries and sort of build it so it's more of a community. So let's say you're working with me as a Canadian artist and you're like, I really want to start developing in the UK now because I'm really happy with the way things are going at home. Then I would be like, okay, well, why don't you start working with the UK consultant for the next like 6 months and I'll just pop in every so often and you start developing that market. So that's really where I'm envisioning this going in the next year or two. We're like starting to make the moves to expand in that way. And then in the same respect, we want to be able to help other artists from global communities. So like, let's say somebody from like Spain wants to come to Canada and we're like, okay, come talk to us. We'll try to link you with the right people that you need to know. We'll let you know all the things you're probably going to need to have in place, like a really good set of wheels because Canada is huge. But yeah, I really see it as something that is a gap in like the entire global music market. And it would be really cool to sort of develop like, you know, build some bridges for everybody globally. And the independent creator economy is growing more rapidly than it ever has before. And
oh yeah, for sure.
There's like a huge section of these, you know, developing artists that don't have teams yet that aren't really being serviced. So I really think that that's like the way to go in the future is in order to support talent that will eventually develop and become successful.
Now, if an artist uses these services, is there like a flat fee? Like how do you guys benefit, I guess, from it? You're giving them all of this knowledge. It's not free. So
no, it's not free. But you wouldn't believe how many people think that it is.
No, I am not shocked by that.
Like, you know, they want our help, but they want us to help them for free, even though it's like, you know, we've never met them ever. And they sent us like 2 sentences in an email. It's like, it doesn't work like that. And actually, yeah, I mean, we do a flat fee. We try to keep it very, very affordable. You know, the amount of times that people are like industry people and business people are like, you should be charging more. It's like, I know, but I also know what it's like to be an independent artist. And basically we're trying to charge as little as we can while also giving the most that we can. And providing something that's actually working. And that's developed over time. So like we've tried different things, we've tried different ways of working, but it's a flat fee and you will meet with your mentor once a month. We develop strategies, we provide accountability, we give some homework for people to do. And then, you know, we meet with them the next month as well. And then we have some add-on services. So if we have a bio writer and someone who designs EPKs, because that's all part of development. And
it is. And artists don't know.
Yeah. If you have a shitty bio and you don't know how to make a solid EPK, like it's really hard to get opportunities. So we also provide some other services like that. We're trying to get away from the grant writing thing, but if it's a really large project and we see it being
financially feasible,
maybe. Financially feasible, then we can help with that. And then there's other things where it's like I've had some artists that are like, I'm going to showcase at this event, and I'm like, cool. And I look at the delegate list and I'm like, here's all the people that I know. I'll send a bunch of email intros to you. So, we can help if it makes sense for where they're at in their career. We can also help them build those relationships. But yes, I mean, so there's a lot of different things that we can offer. We can curate things where it's like, if you need like Artist Evolution Plus, like we could talk about that. Everything is a bit of a negotiation in terms of like what it is that the artist needs and what it is that we can offer. And yeah, I mean, I think it's really important for artists to understand the investment into their career as well. I think, there's a lot of people who think that the management clients on my roster are just like a passion project. And I'm like, they pay a lot more than that monthly fee to me, like
Exactly.
in commissions, like, and so if my monthly fee is scaring you, if you can't afford my monthly fee as low as it is, then you're definitely not ready for a manager.
No.
And I think that's what a lot of artists like fail to understand, is that managers don't work for free ever.
No. And why would they?
Or good managers.
Good managers, actually, yes, exactly.
Yeah, don't work for free. We're not. Your momager might be a different
Totally.
story.
Or your friend, your buddy,
Or your friendager, yeah.
Well, yeah, that actually leads me to a good question. Like, if an artist is using your Artist Evolution services, does that mean that maybe one day they could be a part of your Misfit music management roster?
Yes, 100%. This is designed to be a bit of a vetting process, because artist management is like the closest thing to marriage that I know. I talk to my artists every day. We go through like highs, we go through lows, and we have to, we're essentially like raising a baby together. Like the music is the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't want to just like jump in head first with an artist who I don't know well enough yet. And one of the ways I can really get to know an artist and how we work together is by first starting an Artist Evolution, and we develop rapport that way. And we can also see, like, am I the right fit? Because I'm a good manager, but I'm not a good manager for everybody.
Yeah. No, I get that. I say that about being a publicist as well. It's like,
yes.
I'm a good publicist, but we might not have a good, rapport, or maybe I'm just not the right person to work with you.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. And like, again, it's very similar to relationships. It's like, I'm best friends with one person, but there's another person that I don't understand at all. And it's the same as artists and managers. So when someone goes through the program, there is, it is a good way for me to sort of see, like, okay, is the advice that I'm giving you working? Are my strategies working for you? Is this turning into something bigger? How is our communication? Do we get a lot done in our meetings? Am I building momentum for you? And we're actually like, I mean, I hope this happens, because now that I say it, I'm like, what if it all crashes and burns? But there is an artist who's been in our Artist Evolution program for a year and a half that we are soon going to be announcing on the roster.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
So it worked. It worked.
It worked. And it was like, I mean, this artist like took the advice I gave, and it's already working out so well for them. And I'm like, okay, you're going to get really busy. You're going to need me. You're going to need me in the fall. You trust me already. I know you already. Let's go,
Yeah. And I guess like you probably get to see how committed they are and what their work ethic is like, because it's one thing to say you want to have a career in the music industry and you want to be huge. It's another thing to actually put the work in to do it. Right.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and that's the other thing too, is like, I think sometimes artists think, okay, when I get a manager, I'm going to have less work, right?
Totally.
But you're actually going to have more work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to give you a lot more to do. And so that's also where, if they're in the Artist Evolution program and I'm like, here are all the tasks I need you to do for the next month, for me to see that like they're actually taking that and making moves for themselves is really, really important as well. And I don't think that every artist in that program is going to go to me for management either. Again, I think sometimes it's just me helping them build the pieces for them to find somebody who's better to take their career, for the long term. But yeah, there's definitely artists that I meet with where I'm like, okay, like if things start to get really busy or something starts to pop off, then we should probably just, have an agreement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, let's get this nailed down now.
Yeah. Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked a bit about artist development, what it is, and what you guys are doing. So I kind of want to talk a bit about how things are artist development wise in 2024. Like, we know that the music industry is a fast moving industry. We know it can be hard to keep up with all of the changes. What are some, maybe specific artist development things that musicians should kind of be on top of at this specific moment in time, do you think?
I mean, everyone's going to hate me for saying it, but like social media.
It was either that or TikTok, I had guessed. So
I mean, I don't think TikTok's for everybody. It also might be banned.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So I don't think like one platform works for everybody, but and the reason I say, I mean, the deeper rooted answer to that question is just connecting with a niche audience. That's it. And the reason why social media is such a huge part of that is like, that is a tool at your fingertips that can help
Yep.
you find and connect with that audience. And
basically for free too.
For free.
By the way.
Exactly. I'm like, back in my day, I had to get into a van and poster all around the town the day before. Like,
You sound like me. That's how I am with my artists. Every time they complain, I'm like, you wouldn't have lasted a day.
Yeah, like literally used to go with like like the packing tape and like wrap it around a pole like the day before a show in like Halifax, like, and in the cold, in the wind. And it's like, you're complaining about like, content taking you an hour to make. And I'm like, literally, we were out there for like 4 hours in the freezing cold, like trying to tape posters to a pole with like the tape blowing in the wind. Like,
so crazy. And you also have a platform to directly reach your fans, by the way. So.
Yeah. And like, there's so much you could do. And I mean, I do get it. Like, I understand that social media can be a really toxic place. And that's also where artists look at it and are like, they're comparing themselves. They're seeing, oh, this person got so many more likes on this, or like, oh, I wish I looked like that person, then I could get those many. Like, it's just really, I know how toxic of a place that it can be. And I don't have the resources to be able to tell an artist how to deal with that. Like, that's more of a therapist thing. But
totally.
But it is a free marketing tool at your fingertips. And if you can learn how to use it correctly and how to really like develop your story and your brand on there, and how to, again, using it as a connection tool rather than market. It's like, nobody cares that you have a new song coming out. If they don't know you, they don't care, right? But what they might care about is like the kind of advice that you can give them, or some funny content that you like to put out there, or like, the clothes that you like to wear in the day versus the clothes you like to wear for a show, and how that goes. Like,
yeah. Or maybe you're into a social justice cause or something,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think, and also the reason why I say like connecting with a niche audience is that the market is so oversaturated because, again, with technology at your fingertips, like literally anyone can make music. There's tons of apps where like you don't even have to be an amazing producer, but you can still make an amazing song. So now there's more and more and more music and more and more and more artists, which means that, you're all competing for attention from the same pool of people in a digital landscape. But the thing is, like, there are niche audiences, like there are audiences that are going to love like feminist grunge rock that, that has like lyrics that address like the patriarchy, and, that all the memes are like feminist based, and it's like very raw, like, like you have to pick something where it's like your genre, your theme, your visuals, like everything will connect with a very specific group of people. And if you can find like 100 to 1,000 super fans who are like very, very niche. Like, you're like, I can't believe there's one artist that I meet with, and they are an herbalist as well. So like really into like, yeah, herbal medicine and like witchy stuff. And I'm like, okay, use that. And like, there's going to be
Totally.
someone who loves your genre and is like into herbal witchy stuff. And like, you are just going to be the perfect human for them to like attach themselves to. So when you find enough of those people, that's how you build a career.
Yeah.
Because they're going to buy every ticket. They're going to post your stuff on their socials, and it's going to expand that way. But when you try to reach everybody, you're not developing relationships and you're not developing longevity. So artist development it's all about that. It's like developing your niche audience. And then guess what? The team's going to come, because the team is going to be like,
Yeah.
I see what this artist is doing. I see that there is a market for this now, so I can come on board. This is a product that makes sense, and this is a product that appeals to people. Now
Yeah.
I can manage it, or now I can book it, or now I can get it some media attention.
No, and it's also an artist that understands what they are and
Yeah.
who they are. Like, you have to understand what you want to put out first. Like,
Yes.
what is my story? What is my narrative? Let's start there. Let's create it. And then, you kind of go from there. I think, that idea of appealing to everyone. You talked about, how TikTok isn't for everyone. I think when I see mistakes, I think it's artists being on TikTok and trying to appeal to everybody. Like,
Yes.
they don't know what they're doing there. And I've seen some cringeworthy stuff on there from musicians.
Yeah. Well, there's it's like there are and I think a lot of it is like artists are really pressured by also the greater industry. Like, it's part of the industry's fault. And like funding bodies who are asking for Spotify numbers and asking for TikTok numbers and asking for all of these like fleeting measurements that don't actually indicate whether or not these people have real fans.
100% agree with that.
Yeah. I think artists are going onto these platforms and like wasting their time and wasting their money on just trying to build their numbers so that they can like, get booked at that festival or get that JSR funding or whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish. They're focused. I think they're focused on accomplishing those goals more than they are focused on building the audience.
Well, that's the problem. But see, that's the problem that we have right now with the TikTokification of things, is that you can have a huge viral hit on TikTok, but you have no live show experience. Absolutely none. You have no fans other than those numbers. The people that follow you on TikTok doesn't mean shit. Those people are not your fans. And like they might be a fan of what you're creating, but that doesn't mean they're a fan of your music. So yeah, I like completely agree with that, because it's just like you're giving a lot of people big opportunities that are, and it fails. I've seen it, like live shows. You're booking somebody who's clearly never been on a stage more than twice.
Exactly. Yes. And I'm hoping that like it will come full circle eventually where everybody realizes this. But all that to say, like, I understand the pull for artists to be on all these, like, to check all these boxes of these platforms. But at the end of the day, you just have to remember like what your goal is. And your goal should always be to connect with an audience. Mm-hmm. And you know what? That audience, they might be digesting YouTube more. They might be on Discord. It might be an email list. It might be on Substack, like that you can reach these people. It's just, I understand why artists want to get these numbers. And we talk about it all the time in the industry. And literally like, I did like an LA export mission thing. And it's like, I'm sitting in these meetings and like the first questions they ask me are like, okay, who are your highest streaming artists? Yeah. And I'm like, really? Is that what we're talking about? And so I get it too. Like from a management perspective, like I feel those pressures too, but more and more I'm beginning to realize that like, we have to stop allowing those fleeting pressures get to us and just focus on who are my fans and how can I reach them? It doesn't matter if I'm on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or whatever.
Wherever it is. Yeah.
Wherever it is, where can I connect with them the best? And that's really all that matters, because that's why you make music, is to connect with people.
Exactly. Exactly. I love to hear this. Oh, this is a great conversation. I'm enjoying this.
Good.
Okay, so just wrapping things up just a bit here. I'd like to just kind of end things a bit here by talking a little bit more about your company, Misfit Music Management. Maybe you can tell me what are some of the exciting things happening for your artists this year? What do you got on the docket?
Well, we've actually been doing like a lot of work, a lot of development in the UK over the last couple of years, and this is kind of our first year where we're seeing all that like investment of time and showcasing work out. We have one artist, Tennyson King, who's going to be performing at Glastonbury Festival, which is huge.
Yay, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then Super Duty Tough Work is going to be playing a couple of festivals in the UK as well, right around the same time. Yeah, a couple of bigger festivals and then some other UK touring. So that's really exciting. And it's cool to see like how the consistency of, we worked in the UK for a solid 2 years and went on several trips there. So it's just cool to see like how that works out. and you can't go showcase once and to be like, book me. But we
No,
showcased
what?
several. Yeah. But we showcased them several times and it's like working out this year. So that is like super exciting for us. And then like Leonard Sumner, I'm going to be in Toronto with him in June. He's playing at International Indigenous Music Summit. So I'm pretty pumped about that. And I just got news today that I was shortlisted for the Manager of the Year with like CMW and CLMA awards. So
Oh my
that's
God, how
exciting.
exciting.
I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, I'll be in Toronto for that. And I was like, oh, I guess if I'm shortlisted, I have to like prepare a speech because maybe I'll win it. But there's some like amazing people on that list that I'm like, oh my God, am I in the same category? I'm kind of like fangirling over some of
That's
them.
awesome though.
Yeah. And then we have, just like lots of different releases, mostly trying to lob out a lot of different singles and re-recorded versions of old tracks. And Super Duty has a extended version of their last record, Paradigm Shift, coming out, which I'm really excited about because it has the instrumentals and some bonus tracks.
Amazing.
So yeah, I mean, just all of the things like performing, releasing, and I can't say it now, but there's going to be more news coming up about our growth and other things that we're going to start doing for artists.
Oh my God, so exciting.
I know. So I hope once people are listening to this, they'll be looking it up and following us and being like, what are they up to? What are they
doing?
Yeah. It'll be very exciting.
Cool. Well, I can't wait. All right. So now seems like a good time to head on over to our fresh content segment. Every week on the show, we discuss our favorite piece of music content for the week, and we always like to start with the guest. So, Elise, what do you got?
All right. So when we speak about social media and knowing your brand and knowing how to connect with a niche audience, I think my favorite person to follow is Lana Winterhalt. And Lana actually just got nominated for Producer of the Year at the WCMAs and is an amazing artist. And she just released an album called Recovering Theater Kid.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah. And like all the content is like branded around that, like all of her social media content. And she's just hilarious and like doesn't take herself too seriously, but is also an incredibly talented artist at the same time. And I'm just like happy whenever she posts anything. And I'm like, that is an artist who knows how to connect with their niche audience. And like if there's a lot of engagement on those posts and, it's because like you can't help it. It's like you see it and you're just like, oh my God, I have to comment. She's so cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's a great example. I'm always happy to give artists example of a good feed. So that's a great suggestion. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So my fresh content for the week is Chicago indie rock band Dead, which is DEHD, their new album, which is called Poetry. I have been a fan of these guys for a while. I was obsessed with a song from their last album called Bad Love, which, to be honest, I'm still obsessed with. It's incredible. You should check it out if you haven't.
Okay.
But their new album, Poetry, this is a summer album. Now, I don't say that lightly. I mean it. I haven't heard an album that was this much of a summer album since maybe Haim's Women in Music Part 3. So it just is good vibes, raises your serotonin immediately, and just puts a smile on your face. So I recommend that. And I will link to that in the show notes as well as to your pick as well. And that
all right.
brings us to an end here. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
And where can people find you if they want to find out more and maybe, pay attention to what's coming up and all of that? What's your website?
Yeah. So just misfitmusicmgmt.com.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, hopefully our website is working. And
that's the hope.
You never know. Hopefully all the links are working. But no, you can find us. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok, but only as an observer.
Oh, that's me too. Don't worry. I'm just here to scroll, baby.
Yes. But you can like us on TikTok so that we pay attention to you. And I think we're also on Twitter as an observer. But yeah, we mostly share our news on Instagram, which connects to Facebook. So that is where you can keep up to date.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks again, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you. You as well. Bye-bye.
Well, that was such a good talk. I really liked that one. I hope you liked it too. And want to say thanks again to Elise for coming on the show. Thanks so much for listening to the FM podcast. If you like the show, please tell your friends and give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And you can also help us out by telling a friend about the show or, posting about it on your socials, bringing it up in conversation. I don't know. Whatever you can do, we'd really appreciate it. The FM podcast is produced by me, Jen Fritz, for Fritz Media, with production assistance from Carla J. If you want to learn more about Fritz Media, just go to our website at fritzmedia.ca. And to learn more about the podcast, go to thefmpodcast.com. A big thank you to Said the Whale for providing the theme music for the show, and you can find out more about them at saidthewhale.com. Okay, so we're going to go out with our song of the week this week, which is from the pride of Northern BC, folk musician Mark Perry. This is his latest single, Day Makes.
What a difference a day makes. What a difference a blue sky brings. Today I'm walking down this road and I can hear the birds sing. I just might have what it takes. Hey, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday I woke up and I wondered what for. Maybe it'll just go away if I hide behind this door. And today I'm picking my chin up off of this floor. What a difference a day makes. What a difference a blue sky brings. Today I'm walking down this road and I can hear the birds sing. I just might have what it takes. Hey, what a difference a day makes. Back down this mountain path and see what I can see. Things that I can't change and things that will always be. Breathe in deep. I think, I hope, I dream, I just might be free. What a difference a day makes. What a difference a blue sky brings. Today I'm walking down this road and I can hear the birds sing. I just might have what it takes. Hey, what a difference a day makes. What a difference the blue sky brings. Today I'm walking down this road and I can hear the birds sing. I just might have what it takes. Yeah, I just might have what it takes. And what a difference a day makes. What a difference a day makes. Hey, what a difference a day makes.
Bye. I'll see you next Tuesday.